oh boy, some more Gmod Addons and a bunch of cars. So we have Red's S cars this time, which has a lot of them, and they are all actual cars, or all actual real life cars. So we'll go over that, and then we'll take the next episode to go through this section as well. Two gigantic sections. Ay. Okay, so we're going to start with the 2002 Ford Explorer Sport Track, which is a truck that my grandpa has had for quite a while. Although it doesn't do this. But whatever. We also have another Ford, the 2002 Ford F350. The double rear wheels. It's meant to be a very cargo-driven thing. These are very, these do not work how they should. It's not okay. We have the 2002 Ford Taurus stock car, which, again, NASCAR. This. Going left. There we go, perfect. Alright. No! Went into the ground. Yeah. It's there. It exists. I mean, what I could do is I don't really have to drive these, but, what's the point of it? Might as well just not drive these, really. I mean, it's mostly just to look at. I mean, you can find out what these... I don't know, whatever. So we have the 2003 Ford FR100, which looks like, I assume, since it's 2003, it's a throwback to an older Ford pickup, so, Woo. Oh, I gotta be careful throwing that way, because there's cars over there. So we have a 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse Spider, which, it's a Mitsubishi Eclipse. Some cars that some high school classmates actually had, which is kind of surprising, but we have the 2004 Dodge Ram Rumblebee, very similar to the SRT-10 that we were looking at a couple episodes ago, but it's the Rumblebee. Basically just relatively similar thing, so these cars go far if you throw them. We have the 2004 Ford F-150, which it's basically just a regular Ford truck. See that? Looks like all that. We have the 1923 Ford Model T. Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's a Model T. That is a very terrible back window. Why is it just a circle? Okay, but yeah, it's a classic car. I just threw it. We also have the 1931 Ford Model A, which is a little bit better, but convertibles. I don't even know if it's a convertible. That may just be open. Whatever. Next we have the 1946 Ford Deluxe, which is the sort of which is the main Ford vehicle at the time, the Deluxe. Although it's not that great, but it's from the 1940s, so it's not really surprising. We also have the 1948 Ford F1, which is the original Ford pickup. Well, actually, I'm not sure about that, but it's one of the earliest ones. It's also probably one of the cooler looking older cars. We also have a 1949 Ford Custom, which I don't exactly know if that's a real thing. I know there was a car a while ago, I don't know how long ago it was, but basically you could have, it could have been this car, because it's called the Custom, but I'm not sure about that. But basically you could, put a bunch of different, different parts and, body customizations onto it, like direct from the factory. I don't know exactly. It could have been. It could have also been something like completely or much older, but it could also be that. I don't know. I don't remember. I just know of a car that was like that. The 1949 Mercury 8 is what this one is, which is very similar to the last one. It's also very, very, very emblematic of, I think if that's the correct word, of the era that this car came out, which is, you know, late 40s, early 50s. Most of the cars look very similar to that. We have the 1955 Ford Thunderbird, which, you know, a classic, although this is not that great looking, if I'm honest. I kind of didn't throw that very well. We have the 1956 Ford F100, which is probably the main pickup that everybody thinks of with, you know, original Fords. Is this one, the F100? Okay, I missed. No! I picked the wrong car! But we have the 1959 Chevrolet Impala. Yeah, it's 1959 Chevrolet Impala. Seems Chevrolet really like to use that in the back there, because it's just a Chevrolet Impala. You know, it's a classic one. We have the 1964 Chevrolet Impala SS, which is what the Impala turned into, you know, in the 60s. Not exactly that slick, but is also a lot like a lot of the other cars of the era, so it's not really surprising. Oh, that was close. We have the 1964 Ford Galaxy, which may or may not have been the first car that my grandpa ever had, which, you know, I don't know why I keep talking about my grandpa, but I will continue to do so. I'm sorry. It may or may not have been the first car he ever had. I don't know for sure, but, you know, it's pretty exactly. We have the 1965 Ford F100, which lost the front end that it normally has, but, you know, gained kind of a new one. Yeah, I mean, it's a little more useful because the box is a little bit bigger. But yeah. We also have the 1966 Ford Fairlane. I mean, you know, relatively cool, but kind of so, you know. We have a 1967 Volkswagen Bus. Woo! It's amazing. It's not. It's terrible. Next, we have a 1971 Cadillac. God dang it, Cadillac El Dorado. And, you know, it's kind of exists. It's also it's a Cadillac, and it's, you know, the 70s. It makes sense completely. We have the 1971 Ford GT70, which, I mean, this might be the first one, like the first of that series, and then they came up with the GT40, and then, I don't know. And then, yeah, and then it was the GT90, which is over there. But yeah, this one, I mean, it's I mean, I think the other ones basically all look better, so, you know. Okay, I gotta be careful with that. We have the 1972 Ford Ranchero GT. Ooh! Yeah, it's a, you know, has a nice, like, pickup back, but it looks like a car in the front. It's, you know, it's a classic in a way. Next we have the 1973 Chevrolet Monte Carlo, which does not look like a car that'd be at home in Monte Carlo, but, you know, it's American. 70s Americans had no idea what would be at home in a European city. Next we have the 1987 Buick GNX, the only car Buick has ever made that is even remotely appealing. But, you know, it's kind of really. Next we have the the 1988 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Man, this is great. Terrible. Okay, so the 1994 Ford Power Stroke. Woo! This is some sort of, like, turbo diesel. I don't know. It's yeah, it's not the greatest designed truck ever, but it's, I don't know. I don't really know what they're trying to do with it. We also have the 1995 Ford GT90, which, you know, it's not that great looking, to be truly honest. But you know, I mean, I think it's better than that GT70 that I threw over there. We also have the 1998 Ford F-150. So this is the 90s Ford. Everybody remembers. You know, I mean, next we have a bunch of cars that don't have years on them, but that's okay because it makes it a little bit easier for us since they're not, you know, all Fords. The Aston Martin V12 Vanquish, which, you know, of course, it's all cool. I really like how the Vanquish looks. It's probably one of the coolest Aston Martins. But yeah, that's about it. We also have the BMW M5 right here, which looks to be sort of a 90s, early 2000s one, but it's still good, still pretty cool. We have the BMW Z8 right here, which, I mean, I think there is a better version, like the newer version of this is much better, but you know, it exists. We have a Cadillac Escalade right here, which, man, that looks really good. You see all that? It's terrible. We have a early 2000s Corvette Z06, which, yeah, it's not the greatest. Although it does have pop-up headlights, so you know that makes it a little bit better. We have a Chevrolet Express 3500. You know, the sort of moving van type. You know, just basically it. A Chevrolet Impala. You know, kind of it's not very great. This is a Chrysler Cirrus, which is even worse. I mean, that color isn't very good. Let's just ooh. Still stupid. Next we have a Dodge Viper GTS. The sort of you know, it's not bad, but there's better ones. We have a Ferrari 360 Spider, which, you know, it's a Ferrari. It's not bad. I mean, you know, there are worse ones. Speaking of worse ones, the Ferrari 550 Barchetta. This thing is really dumb looking for a Ferrari. I mean, like, it is somehow the worst looking Ferrari, and I don't know how that's possible. But we have possibly the best looking one with the Ferrari F50 right here. This one's like the big Ferrari, like the big, like, you know, like 90s, 80s Ferrari, something like that. I don't know. But we also have the Ford Crown Victoria right here. So yeah, the classic police car, taxi, whatever you want it to be. Ooh, that went straight in the river. We have the Ford F-250 Super Duty right here. And, you know, it's here. It's a truck. We have the Ford Mondeo, which is basically, if you know, it's not something you find in the U.S., really. It's not great. It's like, I mean, just get a Fusion or something. I don't know. We have the Ford SVT Mustang Cobra R right here, which is like, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty cool, but like, yeah. I mean, it is probably one of the cooler ones. I don't really have much else to say. We do have a Ford TS50, which I have never heard of, but it looks sort of like, I don't know, sort of a sporty-ish car, but, you know, I mean, it's probably pretty, you know, whatever. The GMC Yukon, the HSV GTS. You know, I mean, it's a sporty type car. The sort of Holden type thing. It doesn't really look like a whole logo, but you know, yeah. it's the sort of Holden, it's a Holden like brand or whatever, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's not that great. However, we do have a Jaguar XKR X100. I mean, this is pretty cool. It's not really that great looking, but you know, it's a Jaguar. It's a Jag. There you go. It's better. I can't say that correctly. The Jeep Cherokee XJ. Cherokees are really dumb. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's not worth like looking at that. A Lamborghini Diablo is pretty cool. You know, it's a Diablo. I mean, this green is kind of dumb. Okay, that's a very weird color for it. That's not good either. I mean, yellow's kind of good, I guess. The orange, I mean, that's kind of good, I guess, as well. The red, I don't know, whatever. We'll just go with it. It's gone anyways. So you have the Lotus Elise right here. I already looked at one of them, but this one seems a little bit smaller. I think I don't remember where there was some section. I don't remember. It might be a little bit later. It might be in the vehicles section where the person was like, hey, these cars may look small, but they're like actual size. And I'm like, alright, whatever. That is kind of the thing. They are a little bit smaller than most of the cars in this game, but whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. So, I don't think this is it, though. This is the Lotus Elise right here. It's a Lotus Elise. I've seen it before. Here we have another of the McLaren F1, which we have looked at before, and it's really cool, really quick, all that. We also have a McLaren F1 LM, which is, I believe, stands for Le Mans, or Le Mans, I don't know. But it's apparently from Need for Speed game, whatever. I mean, this one's cool. I mean, seriously. I mean, the color is a little bit weird, but yeah. We also have a Mercedes C-Class, which, I mean, you know, whatever. We also have a Mercedes CL55 AMG, which is not bad, but there are certainly better ones, including the Mercedes CLK GTR, which this thing is like, okay, I mean, if it wants to actually go in a straight line, or you know, go where I want it to. Stupidly quick. Ah, it's awesome. That one's another one of the really good ones that we got there. Next we have the it's these. So we have the Opel Astra and also the Vauxhall Astra. Let me just take this and move it over there. So we have the Opel Astra and the Vauxhall Astra, which are basically the same cars, but are, you know, sold in different areas. Like they sell, I don't remember exactly where all this is sold, but you know, like they're basically the same company. They make literally the same cars, but you know, they're just sold in different areas as different names. And then these are basically the same thing. This is the Opel Speedster, and this is the Vauxhall VX220. They're like literally the same things, just, you know, the same name problem. Okay. And then, of course, we want to drive the McLaren F1. Quick. Not sure it says quick, but yeah. Alright, so that is the first part of Red's S-Cars. Next time we go into the HD section, which actually has a lot cooler cars, but, you know, we need to do this one. The best ones... maybe the Vanquish, but also like the Lamborghini Diablo, the McLaren F1 and F1 LM, and the Mercedes CLK GTR, and also the Ferrari F50. But yeah, that's it. We're done. Oh.